Hello kids, welcome back to this particular fascinator tutorial. I remain Vivian or Auntie V. Okay, so in this tutorial we'll be using the big size crinoline. I have a big size crinoline, and then the measurement of my crinoline is 1 yard, which is 36 inches. I have a matching color of thread, and I have my needle. I also have my rose, and then I have my Alice band, and guess what? I also have my scissors. What else do you think I should add? What else do you think I'll be needing? My glue. I have my glue. Okay, I have two types here. I have the hot gun glue, and then I have the normal UHU glue or fabric glue. Okay, now let's get started. I will take my crinoline. Because I do not want it to loose at this part, I'm going to apply a little of this glue to the tips. This part of my crinoline, I'll apply some glue. And then I'll press. I'll join them together this way, and I'll twist. Okay. In this particular tutorial, you don't need to do too much of your twisting here, so long as your glue has touched the tip, because we will be using our thread to also tie this end. If you remember, in the other tutorial, we used just the glue, and then we covered with a little rose. Now we're using both our glue and our thread. Okay, you can use either of them, or you use both of them. So I will take some portion of my thread and I will tie this end firmly. I'll tie it. Can you see? I'm taking my thread over, then I'm going to tie. I'm just tying it, as you can see. Now I will cut off this excess thread. Can you see? Let me wrap my hair. I'll repeat the same thing on this side. I'll put some glue at the tip like this, and I'll join them together this way and do a little twist. Okay, just twist a bit. If you find this process difficult, just go ahead and use your thread without using the glue. Just make sure you tie your thread very well, okay, so that your fascinator will last long. So I'll be taking some thread, I'll cut the thread, and then I'll double the thread this way and tie this end that that I applied my glue on. Okay, can you see how I'm tying? I'm going over it and going over it. So this is it. I have tied. Now I'm going to cut. I'll cut the excess thread off. Can you see this thread that is sticking out? I'm going to cut it. Now this is what I have. I will now take my needle and my thread, and I'll pass my thread through the eye of my needle. Can you see my thread? I'm going to double it. I'll make it into two equal halves. I'll join the two ends together so that I have a double thread. Then I'll pass it through the eye of my needle. Okay? Now this is how to thread your needle. I just passed it. Now I'm going to tie this end of my thread. Okay? I have tied it, and then it is like this. So I'm going to cut off this excess part, and this is what we have. The next thing I'll do, your crinoline will most likely have an end that has some thread like this. Okay? Can you see? It has some thread. Now this, if yours does not have it, do not worry. We're not using the thread for anything. Okay? Now this part, if your own has this thread, you can gently, neatly cut the thread off, or you just leave it, because we will be using the part that has the thread as our inside, as the center of our fascinator. Let me not explain too much. For you to understand, let me go ahead and do what I would want to do to give us a beautiful fascinator. So now go ahead and fold your crinoline into two equal halves, the way I just did. Can you see? Okay, you fold into two equal halves this way. Then you start from one end and take your needle and your thread and secure that end. To secure the end means you stitch that end. Can you see how I'm stitching it? Now I'm going to take my thread and go over it like this, and I'll stitch again. I'll pass my needle through my crinoline. Now this is it. The next thing I'll do, it is called a running stitch. Now this is how you would do it. It is easy. If you find it difficult to use your needle, please meet mommy or meet auntie or meet whoever that is your senior at home to help you through this stage, to guide you. Okay? So now I'm going to do it this way. I'll pass my needle through. Can you see? I will give some gap, large space, and then I'll pass it through this one. Can you see? I'll give another big space and pass it through this one. I'll give another big space and pass it through this one. This is called a running stitch. I'll give another big space and pass it through this one. Can you see? Then I'm going to drag. Can you see what it is giving us? See the shape. Now, I'll give another big space and pass it through. This is what I will keep doing until I get to the end. Can you see how I'm passing it? Like this. Okay? In, out. When I drag, can you see what it is giving me? See the shape. Okay? Now I'll repeat this until I get to the end. So, before I get to the end, I'm sure you would understand it very well. Can you see? Can you see? If you find it difficult to hold your crinoline this way all through, you can use your pin to pin it down. Okay? Can you see? If you have this kind of pin, you can use it to pin it down this way. It to help you hold it while you do your stitches. Can you see? You do this stage very carefully, okay? So that you do not prick your fingers. Now I'll continue. Can you see what I'm doing? And then I'll drag. When you drag, it will be giving you this shape. Can you see? Now I'm going to continue. I'll pass my needle through. The same thing I have been doing is what I'll repeat. So can you see this particular office pin that I used? I'll keep it here and then I'll continue. When I get to the part that has my office pin, I will remove the pin and do my stitches there. Can you see? So I'll remove this pin now and continue my stitches. So in, out, I'm gonna drag. Can you see how beautiful it is coming out? So I'll take it in again, I'll bring it out again, I'll take it in again, and then I'm going to remove this office pin, and then we're almost getting to the end, the other end of our crinoline. So we are there. Now I'm going to drag. Can you see? See what we have? So when you drag it, it will give you this shape. You take your needle and pass it through this part of your crinoline, of your fascinator, until it comes out. Pass it gently until it comes out to the top part of your fascinator, just this way. Then you take it back down until it comes out under, gently, carefully, okay? You can do this up to 3 times. Can you see? Or even 4 times. So I'm just passing it through it, and why we are doing this is so that it will make our fascinator to be strong. So this is what we have. Now the next stage, you can still use your needle and your thread, attach your rows, but I do not want you to use the thread and the needle so much so that you do not prick yourself. So let's just use our glue to attach our rows onto our fascinator. So apply some glue on the center of the fascinator. Now the next thing we're going to do is to take the rose and place it on the part that we applied some glue, okay? And press it down so that it will be strong. So this is what we have. Isn't this beautiful? Now, if you noticed, I did not cut this thread off. Now, for those that love to use their needle and thread, that are okay with using it without pricking their fingers, I'll be showing you how to attach your Alice band onto your fascinator using your needle and your thread. So let's start. I placed it this way. Now I'm going to take my thread and go under my Alice band this way, and then come and pass my needle. I'll come to this part, pass my needle through my crinoline, which is my fascinator, and then I'll come out at the top. Now I'll come very close to where I have my thread. Let me take it close to the camera. So I'm going to pass it through very close to where the thread came out, and then I'll pass it through the fascinator and come out at the front like this, okay? I will now take it across this part of my Alice band. I'll take it across and then I'll pass it through my fascinator again. I'm repeating the same thing I did before, and then I'll come out at the top. Okay, so this is what I'll keep doing until the fascinator, until the Alice band is very strong, is firmly attached on my fascinator. Okay, now this is actually strong already. I'll be cutting the thread off, and then I'm going to tie. If my thread, if the part of my thread that is remaining was longer than this, I would have still passed it through, and then I'll come out at the inside and tie. I prefer to tie at the inside. So, but since I'm tying at the top and my thread is short, I will just make sure that my rose covers this part of my thread that I cut on my crinoline. So now I'll apply some glue on the part that has my thread, and then I'm going to extend my rose to cover that part. That's what I just did. I extended the rose to cover this part. Okay, so this is our fascinator. Is it not beautiful? The next thing we'll do is to use part of our rose to cover this part, this inside part of our fascinator. So I'm going to cut out some parts of my rose, preferably the inside. I'll cut out from the inside, and then I'll apply some glue on my rose. On the rose that I cut out, I'll apply some glue on it. And then I'll use it to cover the part of my Alice band that I stitched. Okay, so I'll just use it to cover it this way. Okay, so this is what we have. So this is our fascinator. All right, see you next time. I love you. I would love to see your fascinators. Bye for now.